Yo, what is up, you guys? It is your boy Jay from JBG Podcast. What is up, y'all? Episode one was a huge success for me, just personally. So, I want to thank all of you who saw that and will see it. Thank you guys so much. Very, very tremendous success for me. And this is episode two. Episode one was called The First Rambling. I don't know what I'm going to title episode two yet, but I'm going to dive right into this. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day whenever you're watching this day, night, evening. I'm filming this not not even not 16 hours after I filmed or episode or recorded the first one. Yeah, and I have my phone put away this time. I've actually got it like sitting to the side and not like in my lap. I just saw it go off. I'm just gonna look the other way. Try to get my mic set up right here. There we go. I'm just gonna look the other way. I was really tired last night when I recorded the first episode, so I might sound a little bit different, a little more energetic. We'll see. But yeah, so I want to talk. The first thing I want to talk about, right? Okay, so I'm a huge football fan. All of my friends know this. My family knows this. I love football. You know, I love everything to do with football except for Colin Kaepernick. Like that is the only thing I don't like about football. So like, I'm a huge football fan, and I'm a huge UGA fan. University of Georgia Bulldogs fan because I'm from Georgia and love football. So I like Georgia because Georgia Tech sucks, except for Calvin Johnson came there. Mr. Megatron himself. But I like UGA, and there is a quarterback who played at UGA back in the late 2000s named Matthew Stafford, Stat Padford and Frat Stafford, or Frat Stafford, whatever. And he was drafted by the Detroit Lions in the first round of the NFL draft in like 2008, 2009, something like that. And he won the Super Bowl this year with the Rams. It was his first year out of Detroit. He played with the LA Rams. He got out of that poverty franchise and started playing with the LA Rams, and he won the Super Bowl. So there is a commercial. I forgot this commercial. I'd heard about it, and I told some of my friends about it. But they're like, "I don't get it." And I'm like, "All right, well, you know what? Screw you." Because I don't hang out with people that like football. I just myself. I just sit. I literally talk. I will sit here and I'll just like talk about stats and whatnot, just like by myself in the dark. Like I would love to commentate games. Like I'll sit here. I have a friend who during the national championship, she was like, "Hey, can you like FaceTime me so I can watch the game?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And like I had to mute myself for a minute. The FaceTime it didn't and ended up not working, but I had to mute myself because I was sitting there just, oh my god, there goes Burton or not Burton, but George Pickens. Here he goes, 40 yards, George Pickens. James Cook. Just commentating because that's what I like to do. And that's what I'd love to do. Something like this, being a personality or something. That's what I'd love to do. That's why I'm starting out. I'm 16 years old. Hoping this grows. Got to promote it. I can't put it on Facebook. All the church people, they're very judgmental people, and some of them are going to see this and go, "We're not that judgmental." You are. Like, I mean, it's a problem, but I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, and so Matthew Stafford's in this commercials for AT&T, and he comes in, and the lady, I can't think of her name that does those commercials. She always does them. I can't think of her name. She's basically Flo from Progressive just for AT&T. But and she's like, so I need someone to do this for me while I'm gone, or something like that. They can get any Samsung, blah 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 blah, this that and the other. And Matthew Stafford's like, oh, so like I've had this phone for 12 years, loved it. It was an all right. It was okay. Love this phone, but I can trade it in for a new phone and have immediate success. She's like, yeah, if you want to put it that way. He's like, sounds like a good deal to me. Sounds like a good trade. And he looks at the camera and winks. And I was like, you did not just diss the city of Detroit and that football team. Like, he literally just destroyed an entire football franchise, a $1 billion franchise somewhere in there. He's the guy who owns it. I don't even know who owns the Lions, but he needs. I feel like it's not the owner's fault that team's bad. Like, I don't even know who owns it. It's Ford Field. I don't know. Maybe that's the problem. It's Ford. Found on the road dead. You know, who knows? But yeah, and I'm like, he got away with it because I mean, he didn't, straight up say, I spent 12 years in Detroit and 1 year with the Rams, won a Super Bowl, might become a Hall of Famer if I can win an MVP. Like, nah, he was just like, I can trade in this phone I've had for 12 years and I've loved every second of it, but I can trade in this new phone and have immediate success. I was like, wow, what, what a What a guy. I love Matthew Stafford. He's so funny. He's such a frat boy. He's such a frat. I'm sorry if I sniff a lot or like sound like I'm swallowing or something. Like I am like stuffy beyond measure right now. You know, 'tis the season. So 'tis the season to be froggy, not jolly. It's froggy. It's froggy season. A lot of frogs, you know. So but yeah, and I was like, this is a commercial. Yeah. All right. I see you. I am Matthew Stafford. I love Super Bowl commercials too. Obviously, they didn't air it during the Super Bowl because he hadn't won the Super Bowl yet. And honestly, I was kind of pulling for like this is really late news. This is like 4 months late, 3 4 months late, but I don't care. 2 3 months really. Yeah. And I was like, I was kind of pulling for Joe Shiesty, Joe Cool, Joe Burrow and the Bengals, but I was like, but I'm a Georgia boy. They got Sony Michelle, Matthew Stafford. Was it Leonard Floyd? Excuse me, that played for UGA. I think it was Leonard Floyd. Yeah, they got a lot of Georgia players. I want them to win the Super Bowl. Make Georgia look good. Maybe not make. Let's not make Mark Rick look good. He wasn't that good, but yeah, that was fun. So yeah, I was like, that's a commercial. It's a cool commercial. So yeah. Now I'm trying to think of something to talk about because I had like a whole thing planned out, and I have forgotten what it was, and now I am currently pooping myself trying to remember what I was going to talk about. Let's talk about YouTube, TikTok. Let's talk about TikTok, man. I woke up this morning. I just realized this morning, like after talking about how dumb TikTok is last night on the podcast on episode 1. I just realized this morning how bad my addiction to TikTok and Snapchat is. Here, let's go look at this. Let's go look at for this week. I am currently recording this on Wednesday, April 6th. It'll either go up, it might not go up, Wednesday night. We'll see. I'm recording this on Wednesday, April 6th. Let's go look at my screen time. This is how bad my addiction to my phone is. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of it yet. I'm going to start by just overall. My daily average for this week, this was updated today at 3:04 p.m. My daily, and I'm on spring break and I don't have anything to do. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just sitting here, doing this. My daily average, 10 hours and 57 minutes a day. Now it's up 67% from last week. I have spent 29 hours and 34 minutes on social media, 12 hours and 20 minutes on entertainment, and on creativity, I don't know what that means. I've spent 4 minutes on creativity. What is creativity? Is like notes. My total screen time for this week is 43 hours and 48 minutes. Okay. Most used this week. Snapchat. How does Snapchat get to most used? I sit there and I snap a lot of people. Like my snap score goes up 2,000-3,000 a day now because I just sit there and snap people. So I'm not flexing. Don't try to be like, oh, he thinks he's so cool. No, it's like I'm bored. I have nothing to do. I'm just gonna snap people. A few people on my snap know what my face looks like. Like a few people receive face pics. Most of them don't. Like it's just snapping back and forth. This week's Snapchat for me is at 19 hours and 32 minutes. YouTube is at 10 hours and 15 minutes. TikTok is number 3 at 6 hours and 18 minutes. Music is at 2 hours and 3 minutes. Instagram an hour 55. Discord an hour 19. And iMessages is at 15 minutes. So like, God bless America. Most pickups. Oh, what is this? What is this? Most first used after pickup. 250 at music, 225 at Snapchat, and then 14 at Instagram. Like, this is how bad my addiction to my phone is. But, like, I could live without a phone. I could. Like, I don't need a phone to live. And I've tried to, like, make myself understand and believe that. Because, like, cool, I have this phone. Yeah, it's a supercomputer. It's in my hand. I could do, but there's so many bad things I could do with it. Like I've done a lot of dumb stuff on my phone that I don't do it anymore. Like yeah, I have my eyes only on Snapchat. You know what's in it? Pictures of the scar on my foot and the cut, and just me being an idiot. Like I think there's one of me. Yeah, there's one of me in sweatpants, and I'm like, it's captioned "basic white girl moment," and it's just me like poking my butt out in sweatpants. Like, it's just stupid stuff. Being, kind of goofy, as people like to say. Ugh. Silly goofy. Ugh. I hate the people that I hang out with for giving me that line. But, that's, it's just stupid stuff. It's goofy. There's one of me attempting to do a handstand 2 days after my foot surgery. Nobody's seen that one, though. I don't want the slander for it. Uh, there's like countless videos of me just screaming, just like just screaming at the top of my lungs for no apparent reason. I made one last night. Night before last. My sister cooked for us because my mom had physical therapy, and I can cook, but I didn't want to. So my sister was like, I'll cook. I can cook more than you can because she knows how to cook pretty much anything. I know how to cook like 3 things. Um, so she was cooking, and I just walked in there and turned the camera towards her and towards me and just screamed like really high pitched. And she was like, "What the like, what's wrong with you?" I'm gonna try not to cuss. We're not gonna say a single curse word this time. That is like super bad. I'm gonna just try to keep it at not super bad. Because last night, I did really good, and then right there at the end, just dropped an F-bomb on accident. Sorry, Mom. Don't ground me. I don't care. That's a fun thing. Let's talk about that. So, like, my mom gets mad. At least I think she does. Because, like, she'll ground me. Or she used to. And I'd be like, okay, there's my controller. And then, yeah, I'd start kissing her butt, trying to, like, do stuff around the house to, like, get my stuff back to lower my punishment. Because she grounded me indefinitely. I was like, oh, how long am I grounded for? We'll see. Oh, okay. So, like, but I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm going to go sit in my room. Here's my controller. Here's my phone. Here's my iPad. I had an iPad at the time. And here's my remote. Yeah, cool. She was like, oh, no, I'm going to let you keep your phone because you'll be upstairs and I won't have to yell. I'm just going to disable your phone. Okay. What do you mean by disable it? I'm taking away your social media and your games. All right, cool. She took my TV remote. I have a Roku TV. Download the Roku app. Roku remote on app. Bam, watching TV. And my mom got mad at me for that one time. So she was like, all right, fine. I'll just take your phone and I'll yell at you. Just know that makes me angry that I have to yell to get your attention, and you're not going to come out the first time I yell probably. And so it's gonna make it grounding worse. Like, all right, cool. Okay, bud. And so I just sit there in my room on my bed and I'd read books. Oh, you like that book? Yeah, all right, give it to me. Okay. Read another book. Open up my Bible. Read the Bible. Well, I ain't taking that from you. Nope, you're not. Like, I know you won't take that from me, so I'll sit there and I'll read that, Which sounds bad. It's like, you were a Christian, you only read the Bible when you're grounded. No, this was like when I was like 12. Like, I haven't been grounded in a long time because it doesn't work. Like, I'll find something to do, and I'm apparently insane. I'll talk to myself. Or, like, I'll talk to the wall, and I'm like, hey, nice, good-looking wall. Got any plans tonight? like, no. Okay, I didn't do that. But, like, I just sit there and talk to myself. Air out my thoughts. Like, that's how I deal with issues. I talk to myself. And I air out my thoughts. I'm like, okay. And so someone was like, this is a really Gemini thing of you to do, is to, like, overthink things and try to pinpoint things together. And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, bud. You get your star signs and you shove them. Like, I don't care. Like, look, I know I'm a typical Gemini. My mom's a typical Gemini. She's a Gemini. We're both very much Gemini. But my cousin, who's a Gemini, not very Gemini-like. She's more like anything that's not a Gemini. And, like, just very nice, calm, collected. Okay, kind of not obnoxious, but very funny. Very funny. Very, very, very funny sense of humor. Yeah. So there's, speaking of sense of humor, let's talk about that now. There was, President Biden this isn't political, this is just something that happened. It's just funny. It wasn't like him stumbling or anything. He had Obama back in the White House a couple days ago. And they were doing a press conference or whatever they were doing. And Obama gets up there and goes, oh, Vice President Biden. And looks over at Kamala Harris. Vice President, yeah. And, like, because he's acting like he's the president again. He's messing around. I was like, see, that's good. But then, like, some of the media were like, you're making fun of a woman who's vice president. You don't want this woman to be the vice president. Ooh. I mean, no, I don't want this woman to be the vice president. But, like, I don't think Obama, of all people, I don't think President Barack Obama, like, I was okay with Barack Obama. I know a lot of Republicans and conservatives. I'm not getting political. I'm just, talking about it. They were like, I hate Obama. I was like, why? Who's a Democrat? Well, stupid reason not like somebody. I'm kind of Democratic. I'm kind of liberal. I'm more liberal than I am conservative. The only thing I agree with conservatives on is guns. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. But, like, so, like, like, I'm more liberal than I am anything else, but I'm not like, Okay, so like there's two sides, and this sounds political, but I promise I'm not like fighting or debating. It's just, there's two sides of politics. You have your diehard liberals, you diehard Republicans, and you have everybody else in the middle who's like, well, I don't agree with you, but we can be friends. But those people, you don't hear about those people because they don't want you to hear about those people. They don't want you to hear about people like me, like my friends. Like most of my friends don't agree with my output on life. I'm like, all right, well, you can be the world's biggest loser. Like, that's fine. Okay, here's my output on life. If you're comfortable, if you're happy, and you feel successful with yourself, keep going for it. But don't unless you want to, don't go out and do don't go or not stupid. Don't go out and do stuff that you don't think you have to do. Now, if you want to strive for that extra bit of greatness, but I settle. Like I'm like, you know what? My grades are all right for the most part, minus a couple classes, math class. I'm like, my grades are all right. I got some friends. Got a podcast going now. I'm not doing my political streams anymore. I'm good. I got video games if I want to play them. I don't play video games that often anymore. I took like a 3-month hiatus. Excuse me, made my friends really mad. They were like, come on, man, get on. I was like, nah, live for the boys. Rather FaceTime somebody. I'm not a big fan of FaceTime. You know why? FaceTime's awkward. FaceTime is so awkward to me. And, and it's not like, I'm not an awkward person. Like, I'm very personable, I talk to people all the time. I mean, my job is, not my job, but, I do a lot of public speaking, presentations, and I'm comfortable with it. Like, I'm fine with it. And, and I'm good at talking to people, stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not going to boost my ego. I'm a charismatic person. I am. I get told all the time, you're very charismatic and very silver-tongued. We're not going to talk about that, but, you're a charismatic person. You're good at talking to people. I sold a person a pen. I can sell a pen. Right? So, well, I did it once. I'm not going to say I could sell a pen. The person was not of normal understanding of how things work. And I did the strategy of, all right, I'm going to annoy you about it until you buy it. But dadgummit, I sold you a pen. That's not what I did. But, but that's my output on life. It's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm great. I'm wonderful. Yeah. And then I know people that are overachiever. I'm not gonna say overachiever. Okay. I hate the terms underachievers and overachievers. Like my family calls me the ultimate underachiever because I'm really smart, and I am, and it's not me bragging about myself. I am. I'm really smart when I put forth the effort and care and try. I am. I know I am. But I don't care. I'm like I don't have to be this person. I don't like. Okay, I will walk into a room. I've done this before. Walk into a room. All of my friends, freshmen, sophomores, a couple juniors, maybe a senior, and know I'm the smartest person in that room. I'm not talking book smarts. I'm not just book smarts. And I sit there and I'm quiet. I firmly believe the quietest person in the room is the smartest person in the room. 9 times out of 10, not half the time, but 9 times out of 10. And so I sit there and, cool. All right. And it's not me, I'm not trying to, sound all tough and smart. No. It's just I know my place in society. Do you know yours? And, that sounds kind of harsh. It is. Society is harsh. Life is harsh. It's very cruel, but we all have a place in society. Mine's at the lower end of the totem pole at the moment. I'm okay with that. If I wanted to be at the top of the totem pole, by golly, I'd be at the top of the totem pole for a 16-year-old. But I'm not. I don't care. I don't care about my popularity status. It makes me so mad. I know so many people. Oh, I want to be friends with him. Why? Well, he's cool. What's your definition of cool? An a-hole? Sleazy? People who are I don't get it. I don't understand why people, and I kind of get it because I was kind of that way in middle school. I wanted to be friends with popular people. I was friends with some of the popular kids. I was friends with a couple of the girls, a couple of the guys on the football team that were popular, but I wasn't popular. But a lot of people knew me, not because I was popular. It wasn't they knew me for good things kind of thing. It was, that's the annoying kid, or that's the nerd in history, or something like that. because I'm a huge history nerd, and that's there's actually a few kids in my history class that asked me for help. They're like, Josh, do you know this? Yeah, tell me. Nope, figured out, bud. Like, and you know what makes me really mad about school? School failed me. Okay, like I was watching Gary V talking with was it Larry King? I think it was Larry King. And Larry King was like, "So did school fail you, or did you fail school?" And he's like, "Oh, school failed me." And they're talking about entrepreneurs. Okay, so I want to get this clear. They're talking about entrepreneurs. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm 16. I don't have any money. You know, but school failed me. I once got in an argument with my marketing teacher last year. This is gonna sound very disrespectful. We were doing simulations. It's my first year in marketing. A lot of people started as a freshman, but I didn't know about it. Didn't care. So I started taking it last year as a sophomore. And I'm sitting there and I'm taking the marketing class. And we're doing these simulations, and it's you go to college. Okay, I don't want to go to college. So I'm kind of like bored doing these simulations. And she says, "Josh, you gonna finish?" "No, I'm good. I'll take the 0." Well, I was perfectly fine taking. I would still been passing the class. I was fine with it. I was like, I'll take a 0. Sure, it's not a summative. I don't think it was summative. Either way, I would have been passing the class. I did the math. And she was like, "But you need to." "Why?" And this is where she messed up. I knew what she meant to say, but she didn't say that, so I called her out on it because I was having a bad day. "Well, if you're going to be successful, you got to go to college." And I lost it. I said, "Really? Really? If I'm going to be successful and make a lot of money, I need to go to college." "Yeah? How many years you been teaching?" I think she said like 2 or 3 years. I said, "Okay, you're making what? 40,000 a year? 30,000 a year? I can go in the military at 18 and make more than that. At 18, I can make like 40,000 a year at 18. And you're like 25. You wasted life in college. And you're gonna tell me I have to go to college to be successful? No, kiss it. Like, absolutely not. Don't talk to me. And that's what I mean. That I didn't tell her to kiss it, but I was like, like that was my attitude. Was don't try to pawn that crap off on me. And that's why I hate public schools. That's not the idea of public school. Public school is great. There's people who can't afford school that need it. Like, I don't know if we could afford me going to private school, and I don't want to go to private school. Ugh. So I'm fine with public school. It's just the doctrines they try to teach in public school make me so mad. Like we have so our mascot is the Bulldogs at my school, right? We have these on Wednesdays. We have homeroom, and after spring break, actually, we're gonna have homeroom every other day. I think we're going on to a full-on block schedule. On Wednesdays we have homeroom, okay. And in the homeroom, sometimes they do what is called a Bulldog Best Day. It's a Bulldog Best lesson. How you can be the best Bulldog here. You can be the best citizen. We're kids, man. Like, teach me how to do my taxes. Teach me how to write cursive. I don't know how to write cursive. I love explaining to people why they need to know cursive. I don't need to know cursive. Write a check and print. That's the problem. People can copy print. They can't copy your signature. It's hard to forge a cursive signature, to sit there and actually get it down to a T. Because, like, when it comes to, like, bank loans and whatnot, and someone, says, "Oh, someone came in here and wrote it down, not as me," like, they will analyze by, like, millimeters or less than that, like, nanometers, your signature, and, like, average it to see if it's a fake or not. At least that's what I've been told. I'm like, teach me something useful. Just screw this stupid geometry class and the stupid algebra class. Get rid of this guy and give somebody a job to teach me something useful. Give me a home ec class. We don't have home ec. We have a food nutrition class. I don't care about how nutritious my food is. I'm 16 years old. Teach me how to cook for a family. Not for a family of people who want to be healthy, but just at least let me cook for a family. Right? And I'm like, get out of here with you. You have to go to college. You have to be the nicest person in the world. Accept everybody for who they are. Like, yeah, accept everybody for who they are, but I don't have to be nice to you. I don't have to go to college. I don't have to do this, that, and the other and do the hokey pokey and turn myself around to be successful in life. Like, shut up. And this is an argument I've had with teachers. Like, I was talking to my biology teacher one time. Love my biology teacher. She's a wonderful person. Love her to death. She's the kind of teacher next year. I was a senior. I'm going to go to her class every other day. Like, what's up? Just say hi. Like, good teacher, good person. Almost like a friend kind of thing. And I was talking with her, and I said, I hate the job you have. And I said, no disrespect to you. What you do, yeah, it's important. Somebody has to have the job according to society, but you could do something different in a teacher role. She said, what do you mean? Because she understands I'm kind of a philosophical person. I'm kind of yeah, it sounds mean, but there's another meaning to it. Give me a second, I'll get there. She was like, what do you mean? I said, okay, biology is useless to a 16-year-old kid unless they want to go into like marine biology or be a scientist or some sort like that. It's useless, correct? Well, yeah, okay. Do I strike you for the kind of person that wants to be a scientist? And she kind of laughed and said, no, absolutely not. And I said, okay, what do you think I want to be? She's like, I don't know, a politician. I was like, yeah, at one point, yeah, I wanted to be a politician, but I don't like being a liar. I don't like, being mean and lying to people. So I decided I didn't want to be a politician anymore, which also made me decide I didn't want to be a lawyer. And I was like, but you could be teaching taxes. You could be teaching cursive because she's a smart person. She helps kids with geometry and algebra and stuff like that all the time. So like she knows more than biology. And I was like, okay. I was like, you know what the teachers we need are? We need history teachers and we need English teachers and math teachers through like 8th grade. And then if you want to focus on those things, make those electives. Make your required classes home ec. And I mean, you could keep English required. You could keep English required. Like here's my ideal required classes: history, and then, or sorry, we'll say social studies, because social studies is history and then economics and government. Those need to be prioritized classes so people understand how it works, how the system works. Okay, you need social studies, you need English and lit classes. This is American public school system. You need home ec, which might not include cooking, so we'll say a cooking class. Okay. That's four. That's like 4 or 5. Hold on. Social studies, English, home ec, health, food. That's 5. And they have 2 electives. You want to focus on math, focus on math. You want to focus on science, focus on science. You want to focus on both, focus on both. And health includes PE. Those are semester long classes. Or home ec could be like, it's home ec and then it's food, like semester classes. Or it's like a year-long class where it's home ec and then you learn how to cook, this, that, and the other. Like my mom and dad learned how to sew in school, and they learned how to cook in a single class. But you have all these rules and laws they have to follow now, where it's like you like, oh, you got to be this safe, blah 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 blah. My mom doesn't wear gloves when she's cooking at home. I'm not sure my stepdad washes his hands before he starts cooking at home. You know why? Because if some bacteria survives the boiling temperatures of water, I deserve to die when I eat it if I didn't wash my hands. Like, I deserve to die at that point because it was made to survive that. Like, I mean, you should wash your hands before you cook. That's not what I'm saying. You should, But like, and that's another thing. Speaking of cooking in schools, lunch ladies don't get paid enough money, man. Janitors, lunch ladies, I say lunch ladies. I've literally never seen a guy work a lunchroom in the kitchen and whatnot. I'm sure they exist, but I'm sticking with lunch ladies. Call me exclusive. I don't care. Shoot me. But like, lunch ladies don't get paid enough to deal with because it's like I go to the lunch line every day. I don't pack my lunch. I get lunch at school and sometimes I get breakfast. And I'll go through. Hi, how you doing today, ma'am? How you doing today, ma'am? You having a good day? Yes, ma'am, I am. How is your day? Have a good day, ma'am. Have a good weekend, ma'am. Very nice, very respectful. They know me by name. They always ask me how I'm doing. They've asked me about my foot every day that I go there. And I go to different lines. There's like 20 of them, and they all pretty much know who I am because I go to different lines. And they're all like, oh, how's your foot? I was on crutches for 2 days at school, and then I stopped using crutches, even though I probably should have kept using crutches. So, like, I was just limping. And they're like, oh, how are you doing? How's your foot? I'm like, oh, you seem kind of down today. You're not as vocal as normal. You okay? Like, like I got ISS one time last year because I punched a kid. Yeah, it was so stupid. Just straight up, just domed the kid in the back of the head. Or on the back. It was on the top of the head because it was either I punched through a guy, hit 2 people in the face, punched through the first guy, and I didn't want to get in a fight with him because he was a scary dude. or I go over and just hit the guy on top of the head. And I hit him on top of the head, and he fell to the ground. It was a nice hit. But yeah, so like, and I'm sitting in ISS. The administrator cut me a heck of a deal. I should have gotten expelled or a lot of OSS. The administrator I dealt with cut me a deal. If you go to my school, you know which administrator it was, because only one of them is that nice. And she's like, "What are you doing here in ISS?" I said, "Oh, I made a bad decision." She said, "Come here, sit down." And the ISS teacher was like, "Where are you going?" And lunch lady said, "He's with me. He's fine." He was like, "Oh, okay." Sit down at the table, far end away from everybody. "Okay, what'd you do?" I said, "Oh man, I'm not real proud of what I did." He's like, "Okay, what do you do? What'd you do? Vape?" I was, No. Punched the kid in the head. "Okay, punched him. You hurt him?" "Yeah, it hurt." He said it hurt. Yeah, I had a headache after, but no, nothing long term, no broken bones, none of that. And she's like, "Okay, why'd you do it?" I said, "It just ticked me off, annoyed me, ticked me off. Adrenaline pumping. We're playing a game of football. I just punched him." She said, "Okay." She said, "You can't do that, right?" I said, "Yeah, I know." She said, "Okay, why'd you do it?" I said, "I just told you." She said, No. Why'd you do it?" And it hit me, and I was like, "Because I could." She said, "Yeah, because you could. Doesn't mean you should." And I had just this whole moment of, because you could doesn't mean you should. And I had this whole just change of who I was in this like little 30-second interaction, 30-second a minute interaction. I said, "Thank you, ma'am." And she gave me a hug and she walked off. I was like, dang, she got me. I was like, I don't ever get got like that. Normally, I'm here for the mind games of, all right, cool, yeah, I'll play a game and then, figure it out. She got me that time. Very cerebral. It was a very good approach. I wasn't expecting it from her. So, yeah, I haven't slapped anybody since. I have put hands on somebody since though. It happened to April. Happened like the end of February, beginning of March, somewhere in there. I don't remember what day it was. I was having a rough day. I was in a lot of pain. My foot, because I had surgery on February 16th. So this is like, I've been back at school for like a week. I'm off of crutches, but I'm walking slow. I'm hurting. I'm limping. I'm not happy. And I walk into the bathroom. There's these kids in there. All right, cool. Whatever. They're goofing off. They're hitting their vape. I don't care. I'm not gonna say anything. Doesn't bother me. I used to vape. Whatever. They're like freshmen. Have to be. Because I'd never seen them before, and I was like, okay, these are probably freshmen. I've seen everybody here at least once. They're probably freshmen. Whatever. Go in the bathroom. Go in the stall. The stall doesn't have a lock on it. All right, whatever. So I just stand up real close to the stall, lean up against the door, push it back, do my business. Well, and the kid pushes the door, and he laughs and he giggles and he scurries back, and I was like, gonna be one of those days. All right, and like I bowed my head and said, "God forgive me, because I'm about to do some dumb stuff." It literally was like the words that came out of my mouth, and the kid was like, "Huh? What'd you say?" And I turned around and I busted through that stall door and I grabbed him by the collar and pinned him up against the wall. And was like, "Do I look like the kind of guy you want to mess with right now? Huh? Huh?" And like just got in his face. And this kid is like shake. And like I'm not an intimidating person. I'm not gonna pretend to be. But like it was just this kid wasn't expecting it because I stopped limping. I was sure-footed, perfectly balanced. Just, "Do I look like the kind of guy you want to mess with today? Huh?" And I was like, "You gonna do this again?" "No, I swear to God, I'm not." "Swear to me." Like I had a Batman moment. I was like, "Swear to me." It was so funny. And he was like, "Okay, I'm not." And his friend, he's got like 4 friends with him, and they're all just sitting there like with their Froyo Go-Gurts and their fucking vapes, just sitting back there. I cussed. I'm sorry. And they're sitting back there, and they're like, "Well, we're not gonna help him. I don't want to help him." And I'm like, come on, man. And I'm taller than all of them. I'm having to like look down a little bit at him. He's like, I don't know, 5'5", 5'6". I'm 5'10" to 5'11" ish. Like I'm not tall, but I'm looking down at this kid, and I'm like, dude, And I asked him, I said, "All right, you gonna go back to class?" "Yeah." So okay, you walk out this bathroom, I'll follow you. And I let him go, and then I stopped, and I said, "Hey, hold on, real quick." And he was like, "What?" And I and I dusted off where I like grabbed him by, and I was like, "All right, go." And I followed him back, and then I went back to class. And teacher, and this was like a 10-minute thing, like because like I used the bathroom, whatever. And so like she was like, "You were gone for a long time. You fall?" And I said, "Not exactly. I'm okay." I sit down, friends in front of me. Who'd you go meet? Because she was like, you went and met with a girl, didn't you? No, I didn't. She was like, oh, okay. What'd you do? I was like, I went to the bathroom. Use the bathroom. Really? Yeah, no, really. Okay, who was in there? And I was like, there you go. And so I told her what happened. She was like, dang. All right. See you out here. I was like, yeah, not today. She was like, why would somebody, like, I was like, she was like, you're clearly in a bad mood. I was like, yeah, people who don't know me, I'm clearly in a bad mood. I had my head slouching. And I was dragging my foot, dragging my leg. Clearly in a bad mood. And these kids were just like, man, let's pick on this guy today. No, it's not. Man, I hate kids, man. They make me so mad. They make me so. And like, I'm not a violent person. I kind of used to be. I say kind of. I was a very violent person in middle school. And I'm not aggressive anymore either. It's just I was having a bad day. They never said anything to anybody, as far as I know. None of the administrators have come got me. I hope they don't. I hope they do. I hope they do. You know, like I'm admitting to a crime or whatever. I hope they come get me, because I'm gonna be like, all right, I know all of you just about. Come on, kids bothering you. You're having a bad day. You're clearly tougher and stronger than this kid. You know, scare him a little bit. Whatever, you know. Nobody got hurt. There was no punches thrown. Nobody got hurt. I mean, his back might hurt. I slammed him into the wall pretty good. He didn't hit the back of his head. I made sure that didn't happen. Hit my head enough. So I know not to let people hit their head. Like, yeah. I hope an administrator comes and gets me. You know what's really funny is I know my lit teacher knows, because that's the class I was in. I know she knows, because here's the thing, y'all gotta understand something, all right? Because I know a lot of people who've seen saw the last episode are gonna see this one. Hopefully, you're all the same age as me, close to. Your teachers hear everything you say when they're nearby. They hear you. They've just learned to tune you out. Cause like I had my history teacher last year. We had a long-term sub. Our history teacher last year developed cancer. He's fine. He's back this year. Great guy. Love him to death. Love the doc. That's what I call him, Doc. He has a doctor, so I just call him Doc. And I love that guy. Great guy. And but we had a long-term sub, and she's now an actual history teacher at the school. She's a sweet lady, very sweet lady, very kind. Let me stay in her homeroom last year, even though I didn't have her. But I had her second period for history. So block day, we have odd block days and even block days. So second period's first on the even block day. Go sit down. And she hears me talking to this kid. Okay, she didn't say anything. But then we get to homeroom. There was a Mormon kid that was in that class. There was a Mormon. Nice guy. Nothing wrong with him. But we're sitting there. We're comparing our religions. I didn't think she could hear any. We were relatively quiet. We weren't sitting right next to her. We didn't think she could hear us. And this class had gotten pretty full. There were a bunch of kids sitting in groups talking, whatever. And we're talking, and she's like, "That's not how that works." We didn't think anything of it. We thought she was talking to herself. We keep going. And she's like, "No, Jay." I almost said my name. Jay. Yes, ma'am. That's not how that works. I'm fairly knowledgeable on Christian practices. Pretty knowledgeable. So I'm like, that is how that works, ma'am. I promise you, you're Christian. You should know this. Well, not my religion. It's not. We have the same religion. What? What do you know that I don't, or what do I know that you don't? We got in this, thing. But and then she was like, I hear everything you say, right? And I was like, everything? She was like, yeah, brother Christian, everything. And I was like, I admitted to a few crimes. not literally a few crimes. But I admitted to a few things. I don't know if this is like picking up all the audio, because like I'm kind of sitting at a weird angle. All right, there we go. I hope I don't have to re-record all this. I'm just going. I don't have a script. I'm just going the things as they come in my head. But like, she was like, yeah, I hear everything. And I was like, oh boy, that's fun. Not fun at all. It's terrible, actually. And, I asked my teachers. So I went and asked my teachers. I was like, do y'all hear everything? And they're like, yeah, we hear everything. We just learned to tune it out. Okay. Thanks for telling me that now. I'm like the one person you should tell, because I will incriminate myself. Excuse me. And I actually had a teacher ask me one time. They were like, "So do you tell tall tales?" I'm like, "No, these are true stories. These are very true stories." Really? Yeah. Look them dead in the eye. This is a true story. Okay, tell it again. Tell it, and sometimes even with even more detail. And they're like, "By God, you're telling the truth." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not. I'm not real smart sometimes." Um, but like I'm also the kind of kid that like doesn't skip a class. So I have my teachers like I don't have the best grades, but my teachers trust me most of the time. My female teachers trust me. My male teachers, not so much. Is there's a huge difference because and I'm not being sexist, but I think it's because my female teachers understand that like I'm not. I respect you. You're a teacher. I respect you and what you do because you have to deal with a bunch of just jerks and idiots all day who are hormonal and yeah, they're hormonal. That's enough as it is, and they're just headache inducing. They're awful people. So I was like, this is what you deal with all day. I'll try to be the calm in the storm, or I'll just try to make you laugh. So they understand that I respect them. But I don't think my male teachers get that. At least the one in question that I'm specifically talking about. He doesn't get that. He doesn't like me. And that's also because I don't normally do the work. In this math class, I don't normally do the work because I don't get it. I don't understand it. Anyway, like they understand that I'm not going to skip class. And I don't. I have skipped class in high school. Middle school is a different story. High school skipping class 3 times. And homeroom doesn't count. I skip my actual homeroom a lot. But skipping like an actual class, that matters where you're at. I think 3 times. First time happened was freshman year. I was having a rough day. It's a really bad day. I had a mental breakdown, just depressed, upset, hated the world. And so I skipped like 3 hours of course. Not 3 hours of course. Most of course. Well, I was like, well, I gotta go. Because I need to be marked present. But, I'm going to get marked present next class. They're going to come get me. So I go back. Teacher, Jay, where you been? Oh, no, bathroom. You sick? Yeah, I was sick. I don't lie to my teachers. I don't lie to my teachers. She was like, come here. I was like, okay. Yes, ma'am, what do you need? She said, what's wrong? And I said, I was just in the bathroom. And then the nurse, I had a mental breakdown. She's like, so if I go look at the cameras, she knew I wasn't in the bathroom. She knew better, because I hate school bathrooms. So she was like, if I go look at the cameras, where you be? And I said, you'll see. And I said, you'll see me sitting with some friends, surrounded by them, getting hugs and crying. She was like, okay, is everything all right? I said, yeah, I'm just having a bad day. She said, okay, don't let me catch you again. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And then I wasn't really skipping class. Well, yeah, nah. I was skipping class. But was it freshman year? Yeah. I had health. This was like right before COVID happened. I still have the video. Even though, well, no, I don't have the video, but like I have other pictures and videos from that day. Um, there's this kid. There's me, a kid named Gabe, and a kid named Bryce. We were in the bathroom. Bryce was hitting his vape or whatever. Me and Gabe were pretty good friends. So, and Gabe, I love Gabe. Gabe's a great guy. Or he was. I don't know if he is. I don't talk to him anymore. But he's like, bet you I can get in the ceiling. And I was like, what are you on? Like, what drugs did you take? What do you mean you can get in the ceiling? Because, there's ceiling panels. The school, there's the ceiling panels you can move. But I'm like looking, the only feasible way is to put your foot in a urinal. And he was like, I don't care. I'll do it. I was like, no, don't do it, as I'm pulling out my phone to record this because I know he's going to do it anyway. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up in that floor panel. And I was like, okay, bud. No girls in here to impress. He was like, shut up, man. All right. He starts climbing, gets in there. Teacher walks in. What's going on in here? Nothing. Why you got your phone out? Answering a text. That was a pretty good reason. Get back to class. All right, be there shortly, sir. Okay. Leaves. Gabe! 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 Get down! You stupid son of a... Now, here's where I messed up. I posted it. On my private story on Snap. Kids saw it. Bryce got in trouble. for having his vape. So Bryce ratted us out, snitched on us, because he got in trouble for having his vape in that bathroom. So he ratted us out. I was in PE, it was 7th period. I was in PE later that day. Course teacher walks in. I was like, oh, I guess, maybe she wants me to do it solo. I don't know. She walks up, walks over to my coach. Need that young man right there with the red hair. He was like, yeah, I heard. You can have him. I was like, you heard? I start pulling up my phone. I start deleting email addresses. I deleted Gmail, Snapchat, Instagram, Keepsafe, Google Photos. Keepsafe is where I keep all like my dumb photos and stuff like that, or used to. Now I just put it in the Snap. But I got rid of all these apps with all the incriminating evidence because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to the principal for. I didn't do anything wrong. She was like, you know why I got you? And I was like, no. She's like, why are you walking so slow? And I was walking really slow behind her. I was like, texting a friend. I am warning them. I said, nope. I said, wait a minute. Does that have something to do with a kid named Gabe? She just kind of looked up at me. I was like, all right. I was like, all right, delete that video. Click, gone. Move it over to Keepsafe real quick. Delete Keepsafe. Cool. We'll have that for later. Don't have it anymore. Walk in, sit down, across from the administrator. Call him M, Mr. M. How you doing today, Jay? Good, sir. How are you? He's like, you don't seem nervous. I'm not. Why not? Most people who sit in the principal's office are nervous. It's not an unusual setting for me because I was in and out of principal's office in elementary school and middle school. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't intimidate me anymore. It might now a little bit because I haven't been in a while. But he's like, all right, you know why you're in here? And I was like, I'm going to assume this has something to do with the video that I was in. He was like, it has something to do with the video you recorded. And I said, yeah, I already deleted it off my phone. You can go through my phone and check if you want. He was like, nah, I'll trust you. I'll take your word for it since you offered it up so freely. Thank you, sir. I said, yeah, but I got to punish you. And I said, why? Someone could have gotten hurt. I said, yeah, could have. Could have. Past tense of could. Nobody got hurt. Everybody's fine. You sure? Yeah. The only one and then I said, the only thing that's going to hurt is my butt when you give me ISS and my mom whoops me for it. He said, that's unfortunate, isn't it? And he gave me ISS. I was like, you piece of garbage. What? How did I got, like, it wasn't like a fight video. Like, I understand why you get in trouble for posting a fight. It wasn't a video of a kid doing weed. The guy vaping, you couldn't see it, you couldn't hear it, you didn't know, in my video at least. Like, made me so mad. And then, like, every time I've skipped class, I've almost or gotten in trouble, but not necessarily for skipping class. Third time I was skipping one day. Oh yeah, we're not gonna talk about the third time I skipped class. We're not gonna tell that story. We might tell that story later. We're not gonna tell that today. I skip homeroom all the time. That's different. It's a much different scenario, much different thing going on there. At least in my opinion. But yeah. So like, it's whatever to me. Doesn't bother me. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm so gassy. Why? But like, it doesn't bother me that my friends skip class and whatnot and stuff like that. I got that tangent out of the way. Yeah. So is that where I call it a wrap? Or did I talk about something else? Do I have anything else to talk about? Talk about my router, internet router. Looking at it, flashing orange. You right there, bud? You might have heard that. My phone just fell. I moved my phone back into my lap. Sorry. And, I gotta snap back. People. It's just. Hope y'all heard that. It's my phone hitting the table. Got a gaming table in front of me. But yeah, so. You know what the worst thing about this foot is? It got infected. So I have to clean it with like hydrogen peroxide and rubbing alcohol. Clean it. God, it's the worst. But everyone's telling me it's like, oh yeah, the alcohol's gonna hurt the worst. The alcohol doesn't hurt. It's just cold. Hydrogen peroxide stings, so I don't know why. They said, oh, that shouldn't sting, but it does. I don't know why. It's reverse. I don't know. Like, I hate the hydrogen peroxide. It's really cool though watching like foam up, but it foams up so quick. It's like really infected. And I thought I got it, and I thought I was better, and I feel a lot better. A couple days ago, at school, I was on some demon drugs. I felt terrible. Like Wednesday and Thursday, I was dead inside and outside. I was barely moving, and then Friday, I was kind of better. Um, couldn't hardly throw a football 20 yards Wednesday and Thursday. Like it was bad. Um, and then Friday, I was a little bit better, and then I've gotten progressively better since. But yeah, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll finally clean it because the doctor was like, you need to clean it, and I was like, okay. Never cleaned it. And then, a couple of days ago, I was like, you know what? I was at my dad's house this past weekend. It was Saturday morning. He was like, all right, we're cleaning it. And I was like, what? I cleaned it. He was like, no, you haven't. I was like, all right, fine. So he was like, what do you want first, alcohol or hydrogen peroxide? So we'll probably do the peroxide first, pull the infection out, and then clean it. He was like, all right. Takes the peroxide and just dumps it on my foot, across the whole cut. Only one part foamed up. Only one part's two parts are infected, but the other part had a scab over it at the time. So hoping the scab would just heal that up, but it didn't. So I've been cleaning it too. But after this, I'm actually gonna go clean it after this. That's probably the last thing I talk about. But he takes the peroxide, dumps it on there, and it just foams and bubbles. And he's like, "What the heck is in your?" Well, it's not even. Let me see if I can do an impression of my dad. Boy, what the heck you got going in your foot, boy? What? Look like steamed rice in there. What is that? Like I was like, what? What? He was like, man, it looks like vanilla pudding. What? Made me hungry. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, and that's not exactly what he said, but like it was, but like, dude, what? Like it was nasty too. It was bad. And it was really bad. Yesterday I cleaned it again yesterday. Like deep cleaned it yesterday with peroxide instead of just alcohol, and it was really bad. So I'm gonna go do that here in just a minute. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I love you all. Thank you guys so much. I had a lot of support on the first one. So thank you guys so much. I had so many messages from my friends like, oh, we're proud of you. Good job. I was like, thanks. I promised so many people this a year ago, and then just never happened. I didn't have a mic. I started doing the political stuff. Actually, I'm going to talk about that real quick. Here's why I got out of the political thing. And I talked about it on my last political live stream too, I think. But it was affecting my friends and my family and my relationships. My friendships and whatnot. It was affecting them because they were like, this is like what you focus on, this is all you talk about. This is a problem. So I was like, okay, I'll stop. It changed me as a person because like politics makes you realize that life ain't so fun and clean and happy and sunshine and rainbows and hokey pokeys. Like there's a dark side to life, and politics will make you realize that. And politics made me change my moral compass too, and it was really bad. Because like it was like, okay, I can either do the moral thing or I can do my thing that I think is better for me. And I got selfish and I started making decisions that would benefit me more than it would help the people that needed help or stuff like that. And I'm not talking, obviously I'm not talking like on a global perspective or something like that, but like I'm like, I could help my friends out with their drama, or I could do what benefits me and just end it for me. But I like boosting the drama, so I would go boost the drama. I wouldn't have to deal with it anymore. Yeah. And like it made it worse on my friends. I would make the wrong decision, the right decision for me, but the wrong decision for everybody else. It affected my moral compass, and I got comfortable doing that. So I don't do that anymore. I don't do the politics because that's what I want to do with life, is be a politician. But I was like, I can't do that. I'm not low enough of a person to be a cheat and a liar like that. I just can't do it. I can't bear it. So, but yeah, that's why I got out of that. Thank you guys so much. I think the next one we're going to talk about some other stuff. I don't know when this is getting uploaded. Like I said, I recorded this on, what's today, the 6th? Yeah, April 6th. I recorded this. I don't know when I'll record the next one. I don't know when I'll post this. I might post this tonight, which would be April 6th. Might not. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And if there's anything specific y'all want me to cover, want me to talk about, just let me know in the comment section. I will be glad to do it. Thank you guys so much. Peace.